Picture the moment your baby's father lifts them into the air. The wide eyes, the kicking legs, that breathless, open-mouthed laugh that seems to come from nowhere. To him, he is just playing, just being silly for a minute before dinner. But inside that tiny body, something far bigger is happening, something most fathers never realize they are doing. To your baby, being held by their father is not a small thing at all. It is one of the very first ways they learn what safety feels like, what joy feels like, what love feels like, long before they have a single word for any of it. Welcome to Father Mind, where we step inside the wordless bond between a baby and their dad. If that's something you'd like to understand more deeply, subscribe and stay close, because what your baby feels in his arms is going to surprise you. The very first thing your baby notices in their father's arms is his voice. Not the words, they cannot understand those yet, but the sound of it. A father's voice is usually lower and deeper, and to a baby, that low rumble is unlike anything else in their world. Here is something remarkable. Your baby began learning that voice before they were ever born. Inside the womb, the high notes of your own voice were close and constant, but the low, deep frequencies of their father's voice were among the few sounds that could travel all the way in. So by the time he holds them and speaks, some part of your baby already knows him. And when he talks while holding them against his chest, they do not only hear it, they feel it. That deep voice becomes a gentle vibration moving through their whole little body, a feeling of being surrounded by sound. It is one of the reasons a fussy baby will sometimes go quiet the instant their father begins to murmur to them. To your baby, that rumbling voice is not just noise. It is a signal, older than memory itself. The big, steady one is here, and everything is all right. The second thing your baby feels is how differently they are being held. Mothers and fathers tend to hold a baby in their own ways, and a baby notices every bit of the difference. Fathers often lift higher, hold a little more loosely, turn the baby outward to face the room, or raise them up to look down at the world from above. And while that might look like nothing more than rough handling to a nervous new parent, to your baby, it is something else entirely. In your arms, pulled in close and warm, they feel held and contained and safe. In their father's arms, lifted and turned toward the world, they feel something that pairs perfectly with that safety. They feel like an explorer. From up there, the whole room opens out in front of them. They can see further. They get the thrilling sense of being big, of being up high, and yet completely secure, because two strong hands are holding them the entire time. Your baby is learning in those moments that they can leave the safe harbor and venture out a little, and that someone they trust will keep them from ever falling. That single feeling, repeated again and again, becomes one of the deep roots of the confidence they will carry for the rest of their life. The third thing happens when your baby is held quietly against their father's chest. They feel his warmth. They feel the steady thud of his heartbeat. And they take in his particular scent, which is different from yours and which they come to know just as well. For a very long time, people believed that a baby only truly bonded with their mother. We now understand that this is simply not true. Your baby is fully capable of forming a deep, secure attachment to their father, as well a second safe place in the world, every bit as real as the first. And they build it in exactly these small, ordinary moments, resting on his chest, soothed by his heartbeat, breathing in the smell of him. Each time it happens, a quiet lesson is laid down inside them. This person is safe. This person comes when I cry. This person is mine. Having not one but two of these safe places does something powerful for a baby. It means that when you need to rest, or step away, or simply cannot be the one, there is another whole world of comfort waiting and ready for them. Your baby is never placing all of their trust in a single person. In their father's arms, they are learning that love and safety can come from more than one direction at once. If this is touching something in you, do one small thing for me before we go on. Share this video with a father or with someone who loves one. Because here is the quiet truth: most fathers will never know how much their arms truly mean to their child unless someone takes the time to tell them. The fourth thing your baby experiences is the pure thrill of how their father plays. Fathers, more often than not, play in a more physical and unpredictable way. They bounce the baby on a knee. They lift them up high and bring them swooping back down. They make the big, surprising sounds and the sudden, gentle movements. And your baby's reaction to all of it tells you everything. The squeals, the belly laughs, the kicking feet, the breathless wanting more. But underneath the fun, something important is quietly being built. When your baby is lifted up suddenly, a small jolt of excitement runs through them. Their heart beats faster, their whole body fills with a thrilling, almost too much feeling. And then they land safely back in those same secure hands, and the big feeling settles, and everything is perfectly fine. That little wave, rising and then gently falling over and over, is one of the very first ways a baby learns to handle a strong emotion. They are discovering deep in their own body that a feeling can swell up and then come back down again, and that they will be completely okay on the other side of it. This kind of play with their father is quietly teaching your baby how to be excited without being overwhelmed, a gift that will help them stay steady through the big feelings of their entire life. The fifth thing your baby does in their father's arms is study his face. Held close, looking up, your baby gazes at their father with an intensity that can be almost startling. They are not just looking, they are learning. A baby's brain is built to read human faces above almost anything else, and their father's face becomes one of the most important they will ever memorize. They trace the shape of his smile, they watch his eyebrows move. And here is the beautiful part: they begin to copy him. When he smiles at them, something lights up inside them, and sooner than you might expect, they try to smile back. When his face is soft and warm, they feel calm and safe. Babies actually check their father's expression to figure out how to feel about the world around them. If something startling happens and they look up to find him calm and smiling, they decide that all must be well. In these long, quiet gazes, your baby is learning what emotions look like on a human face, and how to mirror them, and how to share a feeling with another person. But more than any of that, they are learning what tenderness looks like on the face of a man. And that picture, a strong father gazing down at them with nothing but love, becomes one of the very first definitions of love they will ever hold. The sixth thing your baby feels is their father's calm, and the surprising way that they can borrow it. A baby cannot yet soothe themselves. When they are overwhelmed or overtired or simply lost in a storm of crying they do not understand, they need someone else's steadiness lent to them until they slowly grow their own. And a father's body, held close, can offer exactly that. The slower breathing, the lower heartbeat, the big, warm stillness of him. When a calm father holds an upset baby, something quietly extraordinary can happen. The baby's racing heart begins, little by little, to fall in step with his. Their frantic breathing starts to slow toward his. Their tight, distressed little body softens against his chest. They are not being told to calm down, they are catching his calm, the way you might catch a yawn from someone across the room. This borrowing of steadiness is one of the most important things any parent ever gives a child. Each time their father holds them through a hard moment and simply stays steady, your baby is not only being comforted right then, they are slowly learning, deep in their nervous system, how to find their own way back to calm. And one day, many years from now, that lesson will live on inside them as the quiet ability to steady themselves, a strength first handed to them in their father's arms. Before we reach the most important part of all, if seeing your baby this way has moved you tonight, take just a moment to like this video and subscribe. It is the simplest way to help us reach the next parent who would love to understand the bond between their child and their father. And here is that most important part, the thing sitting underneath all 6 of the others. Every single one of these moments, the deep voice and the lifting and the heart, the play and the gazing and the borrowed calm, they are not 6 separate little experiences. They are all teaching your baby the very same lesson, the first and most important lesson of their whole life. They are teaching them what love is. Your baby cannot say it. They do not have the words, and they will not have them for years to come. But held in their father's arms, they feel it with their entire body, as plainly and completely as they feel warmth, or hunger, or sleep. They feel, I am safe here. I am wanted here. This person is mine, and I am his. Long before your baby can speak, long before they understand a single thing about how the world works, they are building their very first picture of what it means to be loved. And their father is right there at the center of that picture. This is the thing that most fathers never realize. He thinks he is only playing. He thinks he is only holding the baby for a little while so that you can finally rest. He has no idea that in those ordinary, unremarkable minutes, he is quietly becoming one of the deepest feelings of safety his child will ever know. A feeling they will carry, without even remembering where it first came from, for the rest of their life. So the next time you watch him lift your baby up into the air and you hear that breathless little laugh, you will know exactly what you are seeing. You are watching love being learned for the very first time. So if there is one thing to carry away from all of this, let it be this. Tell him. Tell the father in your life what his arms truly mean, because he very likely has no idea. He cannot see what we have seen here today, that every time he holds your baby, he is laying down the first roots of safety and joy and love that will hold his child steady for a lifetime. If this helped you see that bond a little more clearly, you'll find its companion on our sister channel, Inside the Baby Mind, where we step inside everything else your little one is feeling in these early days. And one day, far down the road, on Senior Mind, where we sit with the quiet inner world of fathers who have grown old. Thank you for spending this time with us. Hold your little ones close, and we will see you next time.